beautiful day in Riverside. An historic day in Riverside. We have I believe the entire City Council is here with us, and I'll go through them and you can applaud at the end, as well as the City Manager and the 3 Assistant City Managers. So we see, there we go, Councilman Mike Gardner, Ward 1, Councilmember Andy Melendrez, Ward 2, Councilmember Mike Subaru, Ward 3, Councilmember Paul Davis, Ward 4, Councilmember Chris MacArthur, whose father was Cheech's dentist growing up. How perfect is this? He's truly coming home. He's truly coming home. Yeah. Divine appointments. They do occur. They do still occur. Ward 6, Councilman Jim Perry. Ward 7, Councilman John Bernard. You know your city manager, the vision behind this. We'll talk more about that later. John Russo and his wife Melissa are here, as well as assistant city managers Alex Nguyen, Mariana Marsheva, and Al Zalinka. Where are you all at? Let's give them all a round of applause for this historic day they brought together. So it truly is my pleasure to welcome everyone to this press conference today, where we will discuss a seizing our destiny moment here in Riverside, the capital of arts and entertainment in inland Southern California. In fact, as my role and responsibility and duty as mayor, I get to proclaim things. So I'm going to proclaim this Cheech Day in Riverside. What do you say to that? Last time he was here, I was feeling funky, so I wore my funky socks, and it just happened to wear them again today. My funky socks for Cheech. As mayor of Riverside, I'm very pleased to welcome Mr. Cheech Marin to our community. As you know, Cheech has enjoyed a long and diverse career in the entertainment industry. As you may not know, that's why we're here today, may not have known until fairly recently, he's also a serious collector of Chicano art, with a collection that exceeds 700 pieces. It is that collection that is at the heart of our gathering today. Riverside is a city of arts and innovation, and the proposed project we are discussing today is a wonderful example of both attributes put into action. The Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, Culture, and Industry is an innovative approach to taking our already impressive local art scene to the next level, to the world-class level. I'd like to thank City Manager John Russo for proposing this adaptive reuse of the main library, which the city has pledged to devote to a cultural use once the existing library moves to a new location here in downtown Riverside. John's vision, his foresight in identifying the potential of this project, and his wisdom in partnering, the power of partnerships once again in Riverside, with our hometown Riverside Art Museum are greatly appreciated, as is his pledge that the center will be privately funded and financed. And that's one of the reasons why you all are here today. A significant amount of private fundraising will be required to make this project a reality. But I am confident, I am truly confident, that the right team assembled in this place, supported and reflected by all those in attendance here this morning, will make this happen. The proposed Memorandum of Understanding, our MOU, goes to the City Council for its consideration on May 16th. So that MOU, if approved by the City Council, would outline the process through which the real work will begin in terms of identifying the roles and responsibilities of all parties involved moving forward. I look forward to hearing the Council's feedback on the 16th. In terms of our press conference today, Mr. Marin will speak in just a moment about his dream of finding a home for his vast and renowned collection of Chicano art and why he is interested in Riverside. RAM Executive Director Drew Oberjuerge will discuss how the Marin Center will dovetail nicely with the existing efforts by RAM to expand its reach throughout the community. Latino Network past President Ofelia Valdez-Yeager will share her observations of how this proposed project is being received by our community. And finally, Mayor Pro Tem Mike Gardner will discuss how the Cheech Marin Center would complement the cultural corridor along Mission Inn Avenue and be the perfect cultural reuse of the main library building you see behind me today. With that, let me call the man of the hour, the man with the power, Mr. Cheech Marin. Let's give him a warm Riverside welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, very appreciate it. Thank you very much. Blessings.
That's your mic. You know what to do with that mic.
I think I do.
There's some water for you.
People of Riverside. I can't tell you how proud I am to be standing here at this moment. I'll keep my sunglasses on so you don't want to see me tear up here. And then the sun's right in my eyes. A while ago, when John Cook and the rest of the board members came to me in Los Angeles, I was doing a speech at the Aratani Theater in Los Angeles, and they presented me with this brochure that they had manufactured almost overnight after the Papel Chicano show opened in the RAM. And they outlined the plan of what they wanted to do in this building, this beautiful building behind us. And I looked at it, and my God. And they said, but you can't say anything about this. It's the hardest secret I've ever had to keep in my life. And I would go to my friends, and I said, something big is going to happen. Something big. Okay, well, what? Well, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what. But it's really big, and it's going to be. And every guy or every person I ran into, I said the same thing. Something's is a game changer going to happen. But I can't tell you, And everybody was really, really wanting to know. But today we can tell you. There's a lot of people in the audience who knows what this means. There's some people in the audience who don't know exactly what this means. But for all the Chicanos who've been toiling in the fields forever, this is a monumental day. We have a place that we can celebrate Chicano culture, not only the past and the present, but especially the future of what this movement is going to be, and we can do it right here from the wonderful town of Riverside. This is when I first got here, we were doing the first Papel Chicano show here, and this is a cool place, My cousin Louis Robles, whom I dedicated my new book to, my memoir, worked right there at the Mission Inn. He was a night clerk, and he used to tell me about it all the time. And I came and I walked down the main street. You couldn't make up a better arts town than this, where the neighborhoods are integrated, and they're ready to have a party, and they're ready to further the causes of what we all stand for. And when they brought me down here to look at the building, and I went, really? For me? But it's not for me, it's for you. And it's for everybody that comes here. I just have one request, that everybody refer to this building from now on as the Cheech. I'll meet you at lunch at the Cheech, and we'll have a drink at the Cheech, and the Cheech. Well, you go to the Cheech, and then you turn left. It is. I can't tell you how excited I am, because this is an opportunity to go global from here, to bring Riverside and Chicano culture to the rest of the world, and have the rest of the world come here and appreciate it. And this will go on forever, and we finally get a chance to display the wonderful diversity, and the wonderful talent, and the wonderful integration of these cultures to mainstream American culture. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and building the collection, and I realized right away that it does not do any good sitting in storage. And my friend said, you gotta show this. You gotta show people it. So we looked around for a way to do it. It took us 10 years to finally come upon the right sponsors and the right itinerary for us. And so we've been showing the collection all over the country and all over the parts of the other world for 30 years. And my mantra had been that you cannot love or hate Chicano art unless you see it. And that has been my goal, to get everybody to see Chicano art. And now this is going to be an international destination. And I'm going to make sure that it is an international destination. I'm extremely proud and humbled to be asked to do this and participate in this. But I realized, because this collection now over the years has played in over 50 different museums throughout the country, and for a private collection, it's unheard of. Because I had a private collection and this big collection because no other museum was collecting this art. And so I had access to all the main masterpieces of Chicano art, and I knew what the art was because I've been studying art all my life. I had the money to collect it, thank you, Lord, and I had the public persona in order to publicize this art. And so everywhere I went, touring the Chicano Vision Show, we set attendance records in every single museum that we went to, starting with the Smithsonian, where we were the biggest show in the last 30 years, the Smithsonian, LA, LACMA, the DeYoung, the Weissman, and Minneapolis, all over the place. You know? And the reaction was always the same. Why, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I like this, you know, and I had that reaction every single place we went. And then we started the Chicanita show, small paintings for smaller museums, and you didn't have to have a 5-year wait to get in. And we've just taken it off the road, and after 16 shows across the U.S. 16, and then we started Papel Chicano, and now Papel Chicano Dos. It's like having Pollo Norteño Dos, you know. And when I got here to Riverside, I went, man, this is cool. This is the most unique mix of peoples that I had ever seen. That everybody got along and weren't fighting. I'm sure there's infighting, but there's a vibe that comes out of this town. There really is a vibe that comes off town. And I've been all over, and this is you have a unique place. You need to live here. Yeah, and it's unique to live here. Oh, I need to live here. I do need to live here. I kept telling my wife, this is great. So she finally came, oh, this is good. I see why you like it. It's like, and so we're going to turn this in to the most vibrant, world-renowned art center. And people are going to come from all over the world to come here and see this. And we're going to have programs that are unique, that will bring not only art tourism, but tourism in general to Riverside. What do you think the idea of a Chicano Biennale every other year, right here in Riverside? Todd told me, where are you, Todd? Todd, don't dunk out now. Okay, there you are. Todd told me this idea. We were at lunch the other day. He says, "What a Biennale?" I go, and I've been to the Venice Biennale and other biennales. I go, and we could have one of those here every other year that is arts and culture, and it would just be one of the most incredible programs ever to come to this town in the world. And we could just sit here and show everybody who we are and what America really looks like. You know, what America looks like. It looks like the audience that is in front of me now, because this is the mainstream. Latinos are part of the mainstream. And when people start thinking of themselves as the mainstream, they kind of get empowered, you know. And the pictures that are in the collection, the paintings in the collection, are pictures of that empowerment and pictures of that cooperation and the pictures of that love that we have an opportunity now to spread worldwide, and it's going to happen. And I looked at my wife and I said, he says, get ready to travel around the world, because we're going to go spread this message everywhere that we can, and everybody has open arms for the opportunity. So this is, if you think of any town that has a special event or a special place that draws people to that place from around the world, this is one of those places. People are going to come from all over to see this place and to participate in the programs and the art that we have here. And I from the bottom, it's been a long time. When I had not even dreamed of this dream. I didn't like, well, I'll just do something with a collection. I'll give some people. I had not dreamed this dream. And when it was presented to me, I go, wow. Okay, we have to be we have to be worthy of it, and we have to support it, and we have to revel in the joy that this museum and this culture has to offer. I thank you very much for coming up here. This is one of the proudest days of my life. Thank you. And I would like to now bring up the director of the Riverside Art Museum. You can call that RAM. This is the Cheech. That's the RAM. Drew Oberjuerge, your director. Thank you.
Cheech, you have the commitment from the RAM Board of Trustees and staff. You know Todd, me, I, Katie, Karen, Valerie. We are committed to make the Cheech the world-class destination that we know it will be. This is an important moment for the museum because this has world-class significance, but it is so meaningful to our community to have this collection here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheech is incredibly special in the art world. I don't know if everyone completely understands his philanthropic spirit. His collection didn't sit in a basement for a few people to see. He knew that it needed to go to Oklahoma. It needed to go throughout the world. And that is just so incredible to have this honor and this gift. We are so grateful. And many thanks to City Manager John Russo and his wife Melissa Russo, who is a longtime museum professional and friend to the museum, for having this bold dream of this amazing creative reuse of this building. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an honor. To reach this moment, I must thank our Board of Trustees, Tim Maloney, our President, our Vice President, Lucille Artson, who stressed the necessity of RAM making and developing new programs that embrace the United States of today. Thank you for your innovation and seeing that we needed to change our work to be mission critical. We have to thank the James Irvine Foundation, who has really helped us think, listen, and embrace ideas in the community. Eric Romero, he is everywhere getting feedback. Thank you, Eric. And to Todd Wingate, our amazing curator of collections and exhibitions. Todd came to the museum and he knew Cheech's collection needed to come here. We had like 1,500 people at the opening night. We sold out of exhibition catalogs. We tripled museum attendance. Thank you, Todd. I know that you working with Cheech will ensure that his vision creates amazing, incredible programming for years to come. We see this institution as an actively collecting institution with dynamic relationships with established and emerging artists. We see fellowships for the study of Cheech's collection and new work entering the collection. We see this as a catalyst for Riverside's art scene, bringing attention to the great works of my colleagues who are here in this region. At Cosme Cordova, Division 9 Gallery, Tio's Tacos, UCR, the Metropolitan Museum. This is an important moment for us to bring national and international attention to Riverside. And most importantly, we see this as a tribute to the Chicano experience and an ongoing source of understanding and inspiration and reflection for the Chicano experience in the U.S. We all know how critical that is here today and in inland Southern California. Again, thank you, City and Cheech, for allowing us this opportunity. As Mayor Bailey said, there's a lot to do. But the thing is we're working with Cheech. He is so fun and entertaining, let me tell you. And so we need all of you right now to visit the Riverside Art Museum's website and sign up, put your email address in to get updates about this project. We want you all to be the first to know what develops. This is gonna be a fun and incredible journey. So supporters of Chicano art, supporters of champions of museums having collections that represent the diverse voices of contemporary United States, please join us in this journey. It's my honor to introduce Ofelia Valdez-Yeager of the Latino Network, who's been an incredible friend to the museum, who's been a thought leader as we change our programs, as we innovate. And I know that we couldn't do this today without her wisdom and her insight. So please welcome Ofelia.
Wow, this is pretty awesome. The announcement of this collaborative effort is extremely exciting for me as well as for many residents of Riverside, especially the Chicano Latino community. The idea that we will have a highly visible center in downtown Riverside for Chicano Latino art and culture speaks to the importance of our contributions to the art world and speaks volumes for the history of over 50% of our population. This incredible and unique body of work that Cheech Marin is bringing to Riverside is a huge contribution and one that will be embraced with pride. The project will serve to build on the energy that has been created by the Riverside Arts Museum, the Riverside Arts Academy, and other art groups in the city. I am especially excited about the opportunity that this work offers to our young people, students, and scholars. They can be part of the Chicano Latino art world that has existed for some time and will now be seen locally. The work can be studied and shared in our schools, discussed in various educational and social settings. As we said when we built the Cesar Chavez Memorial downtown, it is not enough to build the memorial. We need to share the story, discuss the events of the time, and the impact that it had on our community then, now, and for the future. We must ask the same of these works of art. Riverside is the right place, the proper place, to call this Cheech Marin Museum home. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mike Gardner. I'm the council member for Ward 1, and we're smack in the middle of Ward 1 here in downtown Riverside. This is such an important day for our city. I'm so honored that Cheech would consider our city for his collection. And it's not just the art. It's, if you read it, it's the culture and the industry of an entire population who have helped shape our country to be what it is today and are playing an increasingly active and important role in the life of our city and our state and our country. So really fitting, and I think it's important that we recognize the biggest, most visible piece of this is going to be the artwork, but it's not just the art. It is the culture and the industry. And that will be a vital piece of what happens in this building as this project goes forward. So, a couple of quick remarks. As you know, on May 16th, we're going to vote on whether to go forward with this. All the other council members are here, so we can't talk about it outside the hearing, but I'll be amazed if this isn't passed unanimously. We do have lots of work to make this happen. There's a lot of fundraising that has to take place, but who better to lead that fundraising than Cheech Marin? There's first 1,000. Do I hear 2? Do I hear 2? There's another 1,000. Okay. So you can see the excitement, and it's going to just get better as we go forward. This we talk about Mission Inn Avenue as kind of the cultural corridor of Riverside, and you start with RAM, the Riverside Art Museum, at one end, and you come down to the Municipal Auditorium. Here, the library, soon to be the Cheech Marin Center, our Metropolitan Museum across the street, the Mission Inn and all of its collections. Move down a little bit more to the Fox Theater and Performing Arts Center. And just down the block from that is UCR's Coyle School for the Arts and their academies there. So this is an important addition. To me, it's important because as we move our main library from this location to another and build what will actually be a better library. This was state-of-the-art when it was opened in the 1960s. The new one will be state-of-the-art today when it opens in a couple of years. But a proper reuse of this building that is something for our community, for our people, and that will bring people to Riverside has always been important. And this is such an opportunity for us to be able to do that. I'm just so excited by it that I think it really is truly huge for our city. And importantly, it's all going to be done with private funding. The city will provide the site, but the taxpayers are not paying to make this happen. It will be all the private fundraising, minus $2,000 that was committed this morning. Oop. And probably more to come. So thank you all very much for coming this morning. Mr. Marin, thank you. All of us who spoke this morning are available for questions, so fire away. Oh, come on up.
I forgot to say this. There's one more thing I want to say, and I think one of the main goals of this association will be to plumb the depths of the Inland Empire's artistic drive. And we're going to contact every single museum, university, and institution of higher learning there. And I want to bring out the art that is inherent in these people who have never been represented properly. And they'll be represented properly by this one. And there'll be great artists that come out of it. Thank you.
So, Mayor, Ophelia, Mr. Marin, come on back up and see if there are questions. Drew?
Any questions?
Anybody have questions? Yes, ma'am. Mayor, you want to take that one?
Well, it started today. You heard that. And it will continue as long as we need. I know City Manager Russo is coming up to talk a bit more about the details of that. I see him approaching.
Thank you. So this is everybody together. And so the city is going to work together. RAM will lead the fundraising drive for the capital campaign. We've already done a quick review of the building and what it would take to prepare it. We are blessed. For example, if we pull the carpets up in the library, we don't have wood frame under it. We have concrete. So it's addition by subtraction. Take up the carpets, polish the concrete. We have 18-foot, in some places, concrete scalloped ceilings. We take out those drop acoustical tiles and voila, we've got a fabulous gallery ceiling. So a lot of this is addition by subtraction. We believe we're going to need about $5 million to retool this, and the Memorandum of Understanding calls for a fundraising campaign over the next year to raise a minimum of $3 million. I actually, knowing Cheech's energy, knowing Drew's energy, and knowing that the city is devoted to this project, I'm convinced we can raise all $5 million this year. But if we hit $3 million, then we've made our target for that first year. So I hope that answers your question.
Other questions? You're awfully easy on us. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So RAM gave a proposal to the city. All the capital costs will be borne in the fundraising campaign. After that, we will do our best to create an endowment to support the yearly operation. But the city, what we're contemplating in the Memorandum of Understanding is a management agreement between RAM and the city. Drew gave me a budget. Ms. Oberjuerge gave me a budget for what it would cost to run this center, and I will tell you it was a very reasonable budget. And so there will be an agreement between the city and RAM. So it'll be RAM employees that are actually day-to-day operating and staffing the center. Yes, Drew, would you know how many?
How
So our executive committee and the board of trustees are going to be looking at the administrative structure. Our team is putting together a proposal, but what's really important for us is to leverage the momentum and the energy of this center to also bring people back to the Julia Morgan, the jewel. So the memorandum of understanding is that moment where the executive committee with the staff can make those really the decisions about what this is going to look like. But you can expect to see docents here. You can expect the same visitor engagement for the exhibitions to come alive for the visitors. So that will be decided in the next 9 months. Oh, yes. You know, in terms of museum administration, collections manager, curatorial, docents, visitor services, fund development, I don't want to bore you guys, but we probably have to hire additional bookkeepers. And so, yeah. Riverside Art Museum has scaled up tremendously in the last few years. We did 700 lessons alone for our Riverside Unified School District in just March. We're really excited about marrying Cheech's collection with our offsite work. So I have no doubt in our board and our staff embracing this project with gusto. Thank you. So gift shop, store, again, we're dreaming. We're going to dream with Cheech. We're going to dream with our board of trustees, with our staff, with the community. So again, you'll see during the 9 months, we definitely want to sit down with many different players to envision this space. But a world-class destination, probably. We envision a store and a restaurant. So.
Maybe dispensary? We're getting beyond the scope of the meeting and the project here. One more question, and we've got to get Cheech out to a couple more spots today.
Many of you are familiar with the work that Latino Network does. One of our highest priorities is leadership among our youth. Why? Because they need role models. We have a lot of young people interested in art and culture. This, you can't imagine all of the groups throughout the Inland Empire, the desert, that want to see something that reflects themselves and their culture. It will be an exciting draw. I have to say something about the fundraising. This isn't about just raising $3 million. It's raising whatever it takes to make this a quality experience for all of our residents and especially for our youth.
As you can tell, this is not just a project, this is a movement. And there are a lot of movements going on in this country, and so we got to have a chance for that movement. I think we got one already, but how about Que Viva the Cheech? Yeah? Que Viva the Cheech! Viva the Cheech!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.